Hello. In history, we'll be looking at the origin and history of Lagos. Lagos was originally inhabited by the Awari subgroup of the Yoruba people in the 15th century and the Benin's in the 16th century. The Awari moved to an island now called Ido and then to the larger Lagos Island. Their ruler, Olofin, divided the island among his 10 sons. The Awari settlement was conquered by the Benin Empire and the island became a Benin worn cap called Eko under Oba Orogba, the Oba of Benin at the time. Eko is still the native name of Lagos. How Lagos was conquered. In Britain's early 19th century fight against the transatlantic slave trade continued to pursue Portuguese, American, French, and Cuban slave ships and to impose anti-slavery treaties with the West African coastal chiefs with so much doggedness that they created a strong presence along the West African coast from Sierra Leone all the way to the Niger Delta, today's Nigeria, as far as south of Congo. From the crowning of Ado as East Oba, Lagos, then called Eko, has served as a major center for slave trade from which the Oba of Benin and all his successors for over 2 centuries supported until 1814, when Oba Akitoye ascended to the throne of Lagos and attempted to ban slave trading. Local merchants strongly opposed the intending move and deposed and exiled the king and installed Akitoye's brother Kosoko as Oba. Exiled to Europe, Akitoye met with British authorities who had banned slave trading in 1807 and who therefore decided to support the deposed Oba to regain his throne. This is the story of how Lagos was conquered by Britain. In the 19th century, Britain had begun fighting slave trade. They had begun to fight against slave trade, and in their quest to stop slave trade, they pursued the Portuguese, the American, the French, and the Cuban slave ships out of the Nigerian, the Lagos border. But this didn't go down well with the chiefs that were ruling Lagos, the Benin chief and the Oba, the present Oba as of then. When another Oba, who was Akitoye, ascended the throne in 1841, he was not in support of the slave trade. He tried to ban it. When he tried to ban it, it didn't also go down well with the merchants, with the local merchants who were selling slaves. It didn't also go down well with the Oba of Benin, and they now dethroned Akitoye and sent him on exile to Europe. They made his younger brother the Oba instead of him. When Akitoye got to Europe, he met with the European leaders who were against slave trade and also met with other slaves who have regained their freedom, and together they fought against slave trade in Nigeria and they won, and that was how he regained his throne. The reduction of Lagos or bombardment of Lagos was a British naval operation in the late 1851 that involved the Royal Navy bombarding Lagos, under the justification of suppressing the Atlantic slave trade and deposing the king, Oba of Lagos, Kosoko, for refusing to end the slave trade. The Treaty of Cession was signed on 6th August 1861, or it's either called the Treaty of Cession or the Lagos Treaty of Cession. It's a treaty signed between the British Empire and Oba Dosmu of Lagos, wherein Dosmu, under the threat of military bombardment, ceded the Lagos Island to Britain while retaining the title and powers of Oba. So the quest to end slave trading in Nigeria in 1815 brought about signing a treaty session, and this treaty was signed on the 6th of August 1861. This treaty was signed by the Oba Dosmu of Lagos and he signed it under the threats of the military bombardment, the British military bombardment. And when he signed the threat, he handed Lagos over to the Britain. Why was Lagos important? Why did the British have their eyes on Lagos? The city has a significant influence on commerce, entertainment, technology, education, politics, tourism, arts, and fashion in Africa. This has brought us to the end of this exercise. Let's look at the assessment section. Question number 1. Who sold Lagos to the British? Who were the original owners of Lagos? Drop your answer in the comment section. That will be all for today. Thank you for watching and see you in our next demo.